Hi guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at Jesus and the law as we continue on in our teaching series, and it's almost a part 2 from yesterday's because we needed to know all of that stuff as a background for this because within the Sermon on the Mount Jesus says this, chapter 5 starting at verse 17, "Don't misunderstand why I've come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses, nor the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved." So Jesus here, he's clearly a big fan of the law, and he says not even a dot or an iota in some translations it says that until either of them, that they won't pass away until everything has been fulfilled. But so as Christians, as followers of Jesus, why is it that we seem to obey certain aspects of the law and others that are just miscellaneous? Like why do we eat pork and shellfish and why is that okay if the law is not abolished but it is fulfilled? Well, the thing in what Jesus is trying to tell us here, and what Jesus came to accomplish, was that his story from the law and the prophets to where he is now, what he's saying in that he's fulfilling the law, is that this is a journey of the people's relationship with God that is finally accomplished in him. There is a maturity that grows from the initial law and that time and that context, and journeys with the people of God along the way to get to Jesus, where it's completely fulfilled. And so that, like, just as an analogy for you here, that there are things that I would have as a rule when I was a child that I wouldn't have now, because it just wouldn't make sense. Like there would be times where I'd be sent to bed at 6 o'clock, but if I went to bed at 6 now, if that was still a rule, I couldn't really accomplish much with my toddler and a new baby. So there are certain things that are there that the principles are a good idea. Like, I still need a complete rest. I need to sleep an appropriate amount of time, but for me now, that appropriate amount of time is not at 6 o'clock, it's around about 10, 11 o'clock. I can get a full 8 hours. Well, not since I've had a baby, I don't get 8 hours anymore, that's the thing of the past. But what I'm trying to say here is that Jesus has come to fulfill these certain aspects of the law that we don't seem to follow as followers of Jesus. So maybe the question that we need to ask ourselves is what do we choose to follow and what do we choose to not follow? Because there are certain aspects of the law, like do not murder, do not commit adultery, that are just like, why would you ever think about doing that? Well, how do we know? Well, the answer is in Jesus' yoke. It's in this Sermon on the Mount. Jesus here outlines through his life, through his teachings here, what it is to be people of God, what it is to be and serve and work as the people of God and obeying the law. And ultimately he says that it is fulfilled in 2 commandments, that to love the Lord God with your heart, mind, soul and strength, and to love your neighbour as yourself. And he said, as long as you're looking at the world and the law through those lenses, then you should get it right. But ultimately he gives us more detail here in the Sermon on the Mount. So as followers of Jesus, as people of the way, let us devote a bit of time maybe to just studying what Jesus here has to teach us, and maybe learn a little something in our own lives of how we can be people of the way. Take care, guys. Bye.